2-week safari.
On the
Starting to see a pattern here.
safari
I really hope everyone packs
here
enough
in the
for this
Animal
2-week
Kingdom,
safari.
and it's
Everyone brought enough changes to
Thursday,
clothes, right?
August 20th.
I sure hope so. I don't think I've got enough khaki
It's
for everyone.
just
Did you
about
say for your toothbrush?
quarter to 4.
That's a bummer.
We're over at the
It's going to be a rough
Epcot
2
this
weeks without that
morning.
toothbrush, huh?
Lunch, main meal at Golden Corral, and now we're back here at the Animal Kingdom.
Looks like it's just about our turn to head on in here. Alright. Our first stop will be the Little Ituri Forest. Make sure to keep a close eye out for the animals in this area. Their colorings and markings do help them camouflage into the background. Over on the right side are some okapi. While the okapi sort of resembles a zebra with its stripes, it's actually a relative of the giraffe. They have very similarly shaped skulls to those of the giraffe. So when you look at their faces, that's how you know that they are relatives. They're actually the closest living relative to the giraffe. Up around the corner, we'll see a watering hole, which is a great spot to see some rarer animals, such as the black rhino. Unfortunately, there are only about 5,000 black rhinos left in the entire world, but we are working with some other reserves as well as some conservation groups to help promote their protection and rehabilitation. We're working hard to get their numbers back up above that 5,000 mark. Black rhinos in particular have a narrow pincher-like jaw. There's one having a snack way in the back out there, but there's another one laying down just ahead, and I think this one's a little easier to see. It is snoozing though. Nap time looks like.
It's a big boy.
Black rhinos can weigh up to
Taking a
3,000
nap.
pounds and are surprisingly quick for that large size, running up to 35 miles per hour.
Faster than me.
Down to the left in the bushes there is a bongo.
Oh, cool.
That rust-colored antelope is also known as the ghosts of the forest. Their horns stretch towards their backs and allow them to quickly run through the brush to avoid predators. Both male and female bongos have those horns. Looks like I'll see another one just ahead on the left, tied up there on the hill. Oop, there are also some greater kudus hanging out with the bongos. They are the lighter colored antelope. And you can actually tell that these ones are females because they don't have horns. Unlike the bongos, only the male greater kudus have horns. The greater kudu is also the second tallest antelope in Africa, growing up to 5 feet tall and weighing up to 750 pounds. We're now on our way up to the Safi River, which is home to many animals, such as the hippopotamus. Baby hippos can weigh up to 85 pounds at birth, with adult males weighing up to 5,500 pounds. They're quite large. Now, it looks like there is a hippo down there on the right, but if you can't see it, it is a little hard to see in the water there. Do just sit tight. I hear they like to hang out ahead on the left, so I think we'll get a better view in a little bit. They can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes while submerged underwater, and although they are excellent swimmers, if their feet can reach the bottom of the river, the hippos prefer to walk along it. Looks like we'll see them just past this island here. A group of hippos is called a float of hippos. They are night feeders, traveling up to 6 miles along the riverbank to eat up to 150 pounds of food at night. You can see them down there in the water. They kind of look like rocks, but I promise they're hippos. Now, the gray and white birds hanging out with the hippos are pink-backed pelicans. Their pink coloring comes out during mating season, and they use those big beaks as nets to scoop up fish, drain the water, and eat the fish almost immediately. They don't usually carry anything around in their beaks for very long. So there's another hippo down there in the water. Now, heading over this bridge here, down to the left are some Nile crocodiles. Nile crocs are large and aggressive. They can grow up to 20 feet in length, and they're capable of crushing up to 2,000 pounds per square inch in those powerful jaws.
Wow. Pretty cool.
Next, let's do a completely different different environment, home to some completely different animals. And speaking of different, coming up here on the right side, we'll see a baobab tree. It's also known as an upside down tree, as it looks like its roots are sprouting out the top. This tree stays leafless about 9 months out of the year and stores water in that very large trunk. Now keep your cameras out and ready. We're pulling up to my favorite view on the entire reserve. The Serengeti grasslands. This area stretches for miles all the way to East Africa, and it acts as a superhighway for migrating animals. It's also home to some of everyone's favorites, including the elephants, cheetahs, and giraffes. And it is the wild Africa that we're working so very hard to preserve. Just up ahead here on the left side, we'll be passing some construction. We're welcoming some new animals to the reserve over the next few months, and we're just preparing for their arrival over here. All along the construction wall, though, you'll see some signs that feature the long curved horns of the sable antelope, who are the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve and do call the savannah home. So we'll be looking for them while we're on this leg of our journey. Now, while there is some man-made construction going on over there, the animals of this area also act as sort of a construction crew in their own way for the landscape. Elephants are bulldozers. They knock down trees, allowing the grasses to spread for miles across the savannah. Giraffes are pruners, trimming up the trees, allowing sunlight to reach the grass. Antelope are the mowers. They eat up the grass, allowing new shoots to sprout up. Then the warthogs will clean up around the outside. In this totally balanced ecosystem, there's enough food to go around for everyone. It's all about teamwork out here on the savannah. All the animals are working together to get exactly what they need for survival. You may have noticed quite a few of these red-brown mounds popping up throughout this area. Those are termite mounds. The termites build these mounds out of mud and dirt. They are just about as hard as cement. If any of the termite mounds look a little bit more worn down than others, that's because they also make pretty great scratching posts for the elephants and the giraffes. But when they are all worn down and a little bit more dome-shaped, the antelope tend to hop up and use them as lookout posts. They'll scout out for predators lurking in the tall grasses. The big cats will sometimes use them in sort of a similar way, but when they jump up, they are usually looking for prey. To see what's going on inside a termite mound, you can head over to the Pangani Forest Exploration Trail. That's just another extension of the reserve. It's back in the Harambe village. When we get a little bit closer to the village, I'll explain exactly how to get over there, but they've got a pretty cool cross-section of a termite mound in there. You can see exactly what the termites are up to. You can also see some more okapi over there, as well as an underwater hippo viewing area. Take another look at the hippos. It's also where the gorillas are hanging out. There are 2 baby gorillas over there as well. They're only about a year old and they're super cute, usually playing around.
Gorillas, did you?
So like I said, when we get closer to the village, I'll tell you exactly how to get over there.
The ones we saw.
No. Here. She's talking about.
No,
Oh, she's talking about over there.
Pangani Forest. She said underwater.
On the left
I
side
didn't see
underneath
any.
these trees are some Ankole cattle. They're also known as the Watusi cattle because the Watusi tribe was the first tribe to domesticate them. They're also the only domesticated animals that live here on the reserve.
Did you want?
A little bit further, because just behind them are the white-bearded wildebeest. You can see those gray animals back there. They have one of the largest migration patterns in all of Africa.
Nice picture of the cattle there.
The large horns of those Ankole cattle can grow up to 20 inches around at the base and about 5 to 6 feet in length. And although they are quite large, they're pretty lightweight because they are honeycombed on the inside. They're not solid. Now on our right are the giraffes. This is a tower or group of giraffes.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Ay, parece que están en
Ay, sí.
Giraffes average about 18 to 20 feet tall, and they can be born up to 6 feet tall.
Yeah, there's the two. Yeah,
So imagine one of those baby giraffes back there looking you right in the eye.
she was counting.
They weigh up to 2,500 pounds.
She got to sneak in at some.
Believe it or not, giraffes actually have the same number of vertebrae in their necks alone as us humans do. We all have only 7 vertebrae in our necks, but the giraffes are slightly larger than ours. Just slightly. You can see them one more time there on the right.
Oh yeah, there they are. They do hide there, don't they? Wow.
I see you there.
Oh yeah. I love giraffes.
Yeah.
They're always some of my favorite animals.
Sure.
They didn't seem like they were going to eat anybody.
No.
Around the corner, we'll be pulling up to Monkey Point. We'll look for some mandrills through here. They are the largest monkeys in Africa, with adult males weighing up to 100 pounds. There they are. They're also the most colorful monkeys in the world. So we'll look for some blue-red coloring above their noses and on their backsides. And you can also see them grooming one another up on the rocks up there. They're pretty social animals, and that is a form of bonding for them. See them back behind the rocks and the bushes too. And if you do take a look on the right, you can see an elephant back there. I guess he didn't get the memo that this is Monkey Point, but I guess he can stay. And it is safe to assume that that is a male, adult male, or bull elephant since he's traveling solo. When they reach maturity after about 13 to 15 years, the males tend to break away from their herds and their mothers to be alone. And we were actually just going to head up to the red clay pits to look for some more elephants, but it looks like my usual route is closed. Does not look drivable in any way. So I guess we'll keep heading around this way. Hopefully this is just a little bit of a detour, maybe a shortcut even. I haven't been up this way recently, so hopefully it's not going too far out of the way.
I wonder how many hours they had to drive today.
Ooh, it looks like going through here means crossing a pretty rickety looking bridge. I think we may want to keep our fingers crossed going over this one. Yeah, that sounds great. But it's like we say here in Harambe, Hakuna Matata means no worries. All right, lean to the right, everyone, lean to the right.
Oh dear.
Okay, so who didn't keep their fingers crossed? Someone must not have. Really? You guys are troublemakers, forgetting your toothbrush, not crossing your fingers. Man, rebels. Well, let's just get out of here. It looks like we have pulled up to the red clay pits, but we will not be taking any more detours today, I promise. And you can see from the tusk marks and footprints on either side that the elephants have been through here. They often dig out and eat the clay as it is high in nutrients and minerals. Unfortunately, though, humans are one of the greatest threats to the elephants, as encroachment leads to habitat loss, and they are still being poached for their ivory tusks. Fortunately, there are a few things we can do to help, like recycling old cell phones and other electronics. Supporting conservation groups and simply educating ourselves and others makes a huge difference. The more we know, the better we can help. For example, researchers on the reserve are currently studying their vocalization patterns to hopefully better understand the elephants. Now, I think we can get some radio reception somewhere around here. Let's see what I can find. Something's coming in. Yeah. Sometimes we can pick up stations from neighboring villages, so that must be what we're getting through here. Hopefully the elephants like this song. I'll pull up just past this bush here so we can see that elephant behind the baobab tree back there. It's walking away. We can also see the ones back over our left shoulder as well. They're hanging out back there. You can see some of them flapping their ears around. That one by the mandrills was definitely doing it. That actually helps the elephants to keep cool. They've got blood vessels tucked just behind their ears, and when the breeze from the flapping hits those blood vessels, it helps to lower the rest of their body temperature. One recent discovery made about elephants is that they are actually afraid of bees, believe it or not. They will run away from them should they encounter them. So some farmers have begun surrounding their farms with beehives to prevent the elephants from trampling on their crops. It's a much safer way to keep the elephants from the farms, and safer for the elephants, safer for the farmers, safer for everyone. just one of those ways we can help the elephants from being endangered. Now over here on this island is a flamboyance, or a group of greater flamingos. These are the lightest colored flamingos, and they get that pink coloring from the foods they eat, which are high in beta carotene. On our right are some more color-changing animals. These are the sable antelopes that I mentioned earlier, the emblems of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They're actually born pretty light brown in color and do grow to be dark brown, almost black.
What's that? Right.
See a few more elephants around here.
Apparently she's not going.
Through here, we're pulling into white rhino country. And although great effort has gone into protecting the white rhinos, they are still being poached for their horns, which are highly valued on the black market. Poachers today are better funded with more sophisticated technology, unfortunately. But here in white rhino country, there appears to be some addicts as well as some zebras. The small white antelope with the crazy curly horns are the addicts, and they can actually go almost indefinitely without taking a single drink of water. They are typically desert dwellers, so that's how they've adapted for that lifestyle. Now these zebras have black noses. You can see those as we pull through here. That is the best indicator that they are black with white stripes and not white with black. So I know someone was probably wondering that question. Their striped patterns are unique to each individual zebra, much like our fingerprints are unique to us. And they're pretty well equipped to take care of themselves out here in the wild. Their hind legs are strong enough to break the jaw of an attacking lion if necessary. They can also walk almost immediately after birth, and within a few hours will be running right alongside the rest of their herds. Adult zebras, when they get going, can actually outrun a lion, reaching race force
They usually are in
speeds
this
up to
section over here.
45 miles per hour.
What happened?
Through here, we're entering a big cat country. Keep your eyes open to spot some cheetahs. But also keep in mind that cheetahs have some pretty great camouflage on them. It's great for them, not for us, because they can sometimes be hard to find. Cheetahs can run pretty quickly as well, reaching speeds of 65 miles per hour. They are the fastest mammals on land. They're also pretty unique among the big cats. They don't roar or growl. They make a chirping noise. They also don't hunt at night like most big cats do. They are day hunters, relying on their eyesight rather than their sense of smell to catch their prey. Now, I know we couldn't catch sight of the cheetahs back there, but we haven't quite left big cat country yet. We're pulling up to some Kopi rocks up here, and it looks like there are some lions hanging out. You can see that big male lion. Just his furry mane is sticking out from behind the rocks. Looks like there may be a lioness behind him, too. They can tell the male lion is the one on the right and the lioness, the female's on the left, because that big furry mane that I mentioned earlier. Their manes can grow anywhere from a red brown to a dark brown, or even black in color. Lions are inactive for about 18 to 20 hours during the day. So they're pretty inactive right now. They are cats after all.
I love that picture. There it is. Perfect.
A group of lions is called a pride of lions. The Swahili word for lion is actually Simba. They can weigh up to 500 pounds and run up to 35 miles per hour. So like I said earlier, that is just slightly slower than the zebras. Luckily for the zebras. You can see the lioness rolling around up there. It's pretty cool.
Laying on her back.
Like I said, they are just big cats. Now over here we'll look for Africa's largest burrowing mammal, the warthog. Looks like the warthog is in that burrow just down there on the left. They can actually run up to 35 miles per hour, just like the lions can, despite weighing half their size at 250 pounds.
It's cool. Beautiful day here. The animal kingdom.
I don't see them. I don't think that they're out. And ostriches, I don't think they're out either. I've not seen them.
No, we haven't. Usually you see ostrich eggs.
Yeah.
I thought they were a permanent fixture, but
Up next, we'll head over to Magadi Glen and see what kind of animals we can find over there. Looks like there are some scimitar horned oryx up here in the glen. So like I said, these are the scimitar horned oryx. You can see those white brown antelope up there. I think we'll see them a little better on the other side of the hill. But they are named for the scimitar sword, which is what their horns do resemble. And just like our friends the Attics, they are usually found hanging around the deserts. They've also adapted to go almost indefinitely without taking a drink of water. And I'm pretty jealous of these animals that can do that. We definitely need to be staying well hydrated out here. So make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water today. It is super hot. Now it does look like it is just about time for our journey here to come to an end. But if you just haven't had enough of the animal sport today, like I mentioned earlier, head up to the Pangani Forest Exploration Trail. Now when I drop you off, just head up the hill and take a right at stroller parking. Make sure you tell the baby gorillas I said hi. Also, don't forget that while we are furthering conservation efforts right here in Africa, you can always do your own pride at home right in your own backyard.
That's the end of
Now, once again, my name is
Safari
Sammy, and on
here.
behalf of everyone here on Kilimanjaro Safaris, I'd just like to say thanks so much for joining us today. Do make sure to come